Yes. So yeah. So I think we were here. We were talking about the pipelining protocol requirements. So requirement means to basically the need is to improve the performance, means utilization, right? We have seen that, okay, just in a stop and wait manner, we are just sending one packet and then waiting for the acknowledgement and then sending next packet. So this way, if you are going, then utilization is very poor. We have seen with the help of one example. So how this utilization can be improved or can be make better? For that, if we say that, okay, in place of a single packet, if we say we can have a multiple in transit packets. So let us say some n packets can be sent without getting an acknowledgement. So means there at a time maximum n packets can be in transit. Now this n can be 10, 20, 30. Okay, that needs to be decided how many it can be there. So with the help of this, we can certainly the utilization can be better. So towards that, we need in that direction, because there's a real world protocols are like that. There is no stop and wait kind of protocol. Mostly the protocols are in a work in a pipelining based on the pipelining concept. So the two standard protocols are there, means which are more or less in any communication network. Either of these two protocol is used, or maybe a mix of these two protocols is used. So these two approaches or the algorithms, or you can say protocols, are go back and selective repeat. Okay, so today our aim is to understand these two protocols and their working. That's the agenda for the today's class. Okay, so first come with the go backend. So I will come later to the name, that why it is called as a go backend, because the way it is working, the name is actually derived from its working principle only. So first we look at just how it, so what are the things are there that we need to understand for before going into the go backend protocol details. So first of all, the sender is allowed to transmit maximum n packets without waiting for the acknowledgement. So this is something our requirement was there, that we want to send more than one packet. Before acknowledgement arrives, right? So without waiting for the acknowledgement, we can send more than one packet. So it says, okay, you can send n packets maximum. Receiver only sends the cumulative acknowledgement. This is important. Receiver is sending cumulative acknowledgement. Say for example, if the receiver is sending ACK4, so ACK4 indicates that the, if I assume that, okay, my sequence numbering is starting from 1 2 3 4 0 1 2 3 4, so that means all these packets have been successfully received. Just ACK4 indicates this only, right? So that is the meaning of cumulative acknowledgement. And receiver does not receive out of order packet. Means if a receiver is receiving, means receiver is suppose receives 1 2 3 4 0 1 2 3 4, suppose 2 is not received, and then after that 3 is arriving at a receiver and 4 is arriving, then 3 and 4 will discarded by the receiver. Receiver will not take any out of order packet. So receiver will receive just in order packet. Means until the 2 is not coming, 3 and 4 will not be, you can say, buffered by the receiver, right? So that is another important feature of this go backend. And sender has a timer for the oldest unacknowledged packet. So now in this case, because multiple packets may be outstanding for which the acknowledgement has not been received at a sender. So in that case, one timer will run, and that timer is corresponding to the oldest packet, which has been sent, but its acknowledgement is yet to be arrived. And when this timer expires, then it will transmit all the unacknowledged packets. So means after a packet loss, then again it will send all the packets which have been sent after that packet loss. Okay. So now we'll understand this protocol with the help of this example. So here, um, we are taking in this example, the sender window size is n equals to 4. So that n, that maximum number of packet which can be unacknowledged, right? And so that is 4, right? So n equals to 4. And my sequence numbering right now, let us say we are taking some consecutive sequence numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let us say some number of bits I have. With the help of that, I am giving the sequence numbers using that. So say for example, using 3 bits, I can give the sequence number 0 to 7. Total 8s are there. 4 bits are there, then I can give 0 to 15. Okay. So we'll come later. First, with the sequence, because in any protocol, you may have a just finite amount of bits to represent the sequence number, right? So that also needs to be fixed. I can go up to the maximum, and then again my counting will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maximum it will go. So first let us understand this. Okay, don't go in the how many bits are there for the sequence number. Let us, I have a sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like that, right? So my window. So now window means that number of packets which can be sent without waiting for the acknowledgement, or you can say the how many packets can be maximum can be outstanding. So that is 4 in this case. So this indicates the window. So I can send. So this is my initially. So if here I'm writing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So initially my sending base. One sender needs to maintain one pointer. That is called as a send base. Okay, and this is, let us say this is my window. So currently, and that window size is known to the sender and receiver, both they know each other, that okay, because it's a protocol semantics, so it is know that they know each other that what is the window size is there. So in this case it is 4. So uh, so this is a sender base, and then one more pointer sender maintains, that is called as a next packet to be sent. Next packet to be sent. So initially that is also means pointing to your the same, like in this case 0. So 4 means so sender starts sending the packet number first. Then after sending the packet first, uh, its next packet pointer will move to the from 0 to 1. So one time I'm just making here 0, 1, 2, 3. So after sending first packet, right? So my send base will be here only. Send base, when I will change the send base, I will change one. And then my next pointer will move from 1 to 2. So how, like that, how many packets I can send without waiting for the acknowledgement? 4, right? So next packet I can send, that is the packet 3. So 4 packets you can see have been sent. After that, sender cannot send. Sender needs to wait because my window size is 4 and all 4 sequence number have been consumed. Now next packet I can send only after receiving the acknowledgement for packet number 0. Once I receive the acknowledgement for packet number 0, then I can slide my window by 1, and after once I slide, then this next byte next packet which I can send, that will be 4 now, right? That I can send it if the data, provided that the data is provided by the application. So now come to this timing diagram. Okay, this is called as a timing diagram. Any protocol we means sender and receiver, and then packet 1, packet 2, like that we said. This is we call as a timing diagram. Okay, so please remember this thing. Maybe in your exams, I maybe ask that, okay, draw the timing diagram for such and such protocol. So that time don't ask me, sir, what is timing diagram? So you should draw in that way. Okay. So send packet 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what happened here? No, receiver also have the, let's say, is means waiting for these sequence numbers only 0, 1, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that it is going. So window receiver knows that way, this is my window. Okay, fine, because n equals to 4. So it is, receiver is maintaining just one pointer, that is called as a next byte, or we can say this is a receive base maybe. Okay, receive base. So receive base says that, okay, this is next byte it is expecting. Once 0 is received, acknowledgement 0 has been sent, then the receiver will move from you say 0 this thing to 1. So now receiver is waiting, window is shifted, and receive base is moved from here to here, right, to the next. Now next packet is received and its acknowledgement is sent. Now you can see here the packet number 2 is lost here. So after receiving 0 and 1, so these two consecutive means in order sequence packets have been received by the receiver, and these two packets will be delivered to the application, right? And the receiver's pointer now it is means it is receiver base is at 2, right? So in this case, receiver can receive 2, 3, 4, 5. So up to 4, this, that is the receiver's base. But precisely we say that, okay, receiver in the case of go back and receiver is maintaining just one pointer, that is what is my next sequence number. So that receive base it is maintaining only one pointer, and no buffer is required as such, because it is receiving all the packet in order. So it means the packets which it is receiving from the sender, these packets it can deliver to the application, because as the reliability feature, this protocol is supposed to deliver the packets to the application in order, and it is anyway it is receiving in order only, it is not receiving packets, any packet it is not receiving out of order. So means you can say that, okay, just one packet buffering space is required, and as is receive the packet, immediately it can throw to the socket and and deliver to the application, right? So now packet 3 is received and this packet is discarded, you can see. So out of order packet it is not keeping, because packet 2 was expected and 3 is received. But when it is receiving 3, then it is sending the acknowledgement, and that acknowledgement is a cumulative acknowledgement, which is indicating that ACK1. ACK1 means up to 1 I have received successfully. That is, when packet 4 is received, then also it is sending the ACK1, saying that, okay, ACK1 is up to here I have received, and after that I have not received anything, right? And packet 5 is so now 0, 1, 2, 3 it has sent, and then you can see 0 and 1 acknowledgement have been received here. So after receiving these two acknowledgements, you can see the window is shifted by the sender by two numbers, right? 0, because now 0 is confirmed, this packet is received by the receiver, 1 is also confirmed. So it can slide the sender base. Now my current sender base is here. Sender base is here and window is this, and next byte it can send is, so when it is sending the fourth one, then it is, this next pointer is here. When it is sending fifth one, then next pointer is here. And you know that, okay, now until it is not receiving the acknowledgement of packet number 2, next packet it cannot send. Now, as the packet 2 has been sent long back here, so the presently one timer is running at a sender side. That is because this 2 is the oldest packet which has been sent and whose acknowledgement is yet to be received. So the timer is running. Okay. So this timer, let us say, expire at some point of time here. Okay. And these and these duplicate ACKs, it is going to be, because ACK1, ACK1, ACK1 it has already received. So these ACKs will be, this is ACK 0 and 1 is received, and this duplicate ACK is that was sent by the receiver after receiving the packet 3, that is discarded, right? So it is ignored. Now when timeout occurs, then you can see here packet 2 onwards, all the packet it is sending again. And because the sender is doing this thing, that's why the receiver need not to buffer the out of order packets, right? Because once the timeout will occur for this packet number 2, then whatever packet has been sent by the sender after 2, okay, all these packet will be sent it again. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, all packets have been sent again, 2 onwards. That's why it is called as a go back N, because of this nature of the sender is this. So N equals to 2 packet was lost. So now 2 onwards it will send all the packets till now it has sent. So that's why it is called as a go back N. So once it is sent 2, 3, 4, 5, now these 2 packets, so 2 is packet 2 is received and delivered and send the ACK2, send ACK3, send ACK4, and so this way this protocol is going to work. Okay, any quick question here before going to the next slide? Should I check this thing? Nothing. Okay, so means I can move to the next slide. Okay. So just look at this sender side, how the go back can work. So k-bit sequence number in packet header. So you have a modulus k. So suppose it's a 3-bit sequence number is there. 3-bit sequence number, as I already mentioned. So my sequence number will go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, like that sequence number. Because whatever number of bits I take, means even I take 16-bit, then my it will be a modulus. So it basically it's a modulo 2k arithmetic will be used for the giving the sequence numbering to the packets. And a window of up to n consecutive unacked packet is allowed. So I think same thing which we have already seen, but just let's quickly see that here how the sender window looks like. So these green packets have already received, their acknowledgement has been received. So that's why send base is shifted to this packet. So these yellow packets are all packets which have been sent, but their acknowledgement is still pending, right? And this is the next sequence which next byte, next packet which can be sent by the sender, and the window size is n. So whatever number of packets are there in that is there. So it is 3, 6, 8, 14. So in this case it is 14, right? And this is unusable space right now because these packets, sequence number packet cannot be sent. When it can be sent? So let us say once it receives these two packets, so they will become green. Okay, so green means basically the send base will come here, and window also will be shift from here to here. Okay, so now these two packets also will become the blue. So this way the window will be shift. So at any point in time, maximum number of unacknowledged packet which can be there, that is fixed, means that cannot be changed. That is a maximum number. Minimum can be anything. Okay, so this is the in the form of a state machine. So state machine, if you just look at FSM wise, so at a sender side, RDT send request is coming from upper layer, and then if the next sequence number is less than base plus n, okay. So if it is base plus n, then means the window have a scope to send them more packets. So then it will create a packet and send the packet, and after that, if base equals to the next sequence number, means there are no packets in flight, means the base and next sequence number is at the same place, they coincide, then means there is no outstanding packet, all packets acknowledgement have been arrived. So then it will start the timer. Okay, otherwise timer is already running for some packet. Okay, that is oldest packet which has been sent some time back. For that the timer is running, and then it will add plus the next sequence number. So my pointer will now move to the next sequence number pointer to the next number. After that, after sending, otherwise if it is means if it is the next sequence number is less than base plus, and if it is greater than base plus n or greater than or equal to, then it will refuse the data, means the application will, means that transport protocol will not receive the packet from the application, or it will be there in the buffer, right? Now what else can happen at a sender, means a timeout can occur. Then it will start the timer again, and it will start sending the packets from the base onwards. Currently where because base is pointing that the packet for which the acknowledgement is expected next, right? in order, next in order packet for which the acknowledgement is yet to be arrived. So that from that point onwards, it will send all the packet up to the maximum it can send the, sorry, it will send next sequence number -1. Okay, because your sequence number is starting from 0, so that's why it is a next sequence number. Or sorry, next, because in your next sequence number, when this packet is sent, then it becomes plus plus actually, right? It has incremented. So when you send the 5 packet, then actually 5 packets have been sent and the next sequence number is pointing to 6. So that's why it is next sequence number -1. Up to this, all the packets it will send it. Suppose packet number 2, timeout occur for the packet number 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, all 4 packets it will send it. Right. So like that. So if receive packet is not, so acknowledgement, when it receive the acknowledgement and it is not corrupted, then it will do 2 things. One, so it will increase the, so if the base equals to get acknowledgement number receive packet +1, then increase the left size of the window, means you shift your base. So for example, here it will be easy to understand. Suppose this packet acknowledgement has arrived, then you shift your send base from here to here. Okay, I think rest is you can, or should I take it? So if base equals to next sequence number, so then again you should check it that, okay, is there any outstanding packet is there, means for which the acknowledgement is still pending. If it is not pending, then you stop the timer. Otherwise, you start the timer for the next packet. So for example, in this case, these 2 packets acknowledgement is received. Now still this packet acknowledgement is pending. So timer will start for this. And by that time, by this we reach here, and let us say this acknowledgement is also received. Now there is no, you can say, outstanding packet. So in that case, no timer will run, because next sequence number and my send base are same. So same means no packet is outstanding and there is no timer running. So I need to accordingly check the condition. If I receive the packet, means acknowledgement is received and it's corrupted, then don't do anything, because you need to wait for the timer to expire to retransmit the packet, right? So this is, and similarly for the receiver we know it is any out of order packet it is receiving, that needs to be discarded. Any out of order packet it is receiving, discarded. And after discarding, means the acknowledgement which is sending, that is the highest in order sequence number. Okay, so this is again important to understand, means it is going to discard the packet, any out of order packet which is received, but acknowledgement also it needs to send, because in case the previous acknowledgement is, suppose it is lost or it is corrupted, then this duplicate acknowledgement can reach to the sender before the timer expires. So the sender need not to means retransmit that packet. So that's why this in order sequence acknowledgement needs to be sent in case of every time when it receive the out of order packet. Okay, so this is the one go back N protocol. Now, you might have thought that, okay, sir, why it is not, means it is a wastage kind of thing, that, okay, let us say packet 2 was here lost, but packet 3 was successfully received, packet 4 was successfully received, then these 2 packets might have buffered. And when the packet 2 comes, then it could have sent the 2, 3, 4 to the application layer, and 3 and 4 retransmission could have been avoided. Yes, this is correct. So the another option is, but we'll see that to you just try to focus on that okay, for incorporating this feature, I mean, what is this feature? That feature is that buffering the out of order packets. We'll see that, okay, we require some additional, you can say, additional pointers we need to maintain, and these additional pointers are essentially increasing the complexity of the you can say protocol. Otherwise, go back and is a simpler than the SR protocol. So SR is the selective repeat. So as the name suggests, means the packet which have been lost, that packet only will be retransmitted, other packets will not be retransmitted. That's why it's a selective repeat. You don't repeat everything, repeat only selective. Selective which packet? Which is lost. And means we don't know exactly which is lost, means but it's whose timer is expired actually, right? So if it is within the time, means before the timeout, if acknowledgement is not received, then means sender don't have any option to uh, means it needs to retransmit only, right? So receiver individually acknowledges all correctly received packets, buffers packet as needed for eventual in order delivery to upper layer. So say for example 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0 is received by receiver, 1 is received, 2 is not received, 3 and 4 is received. So 0, 1 it can deliver to the application, no problem. But 3 and 4 it can buffer, but it cannot deliver to the application. So for that it requires to buffer. So that's the one complexity is added, that okay, we need a larger buffer space for the SR selective repeat protocol as compared to go backend. Because go backend, if you understood, then go backend only just one packet buffer is sufficient, because all packets are coming in order only, so it can be immediately it can deliver to the application, right? So no buffering is required. But here buffering is required because out of order packets it needs to buffer. Then sender only resends packet for which acknowledgement not received. So the advantage of this, that receiver is buffering the out of order packet, that advantage sender can take by just retransmitting only the packets for which the acknowledgement is not received. And these packets acknowledgement can be sent individually, like when this packet is received, then it can send ACK3. When this packet received, then it can send ACK4, right? So now with the same example, let us understand the working of this selective repeat protocol. So again, window is 4. So maximum 4 packet can be outstanding at any point of time. And starting with the means base. So the same pointers will be base is required here also. And next sequence number is also required at the sender side. So let us assume that same scenario we are taking 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 packets have been sent. Out of that, let us assume that packet 2 is lost. So these two are received successfully here. You can say packet 0, packet 1 and deliver to the application also. And so we can say receiver side situation is like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 0, 1 received. So 0, 1 have been delivered. So my receive base is here after 0, 1, right? And it was waiting for 2, but the packet 3 arrived. So when 3 arrived, then what it did, 3 is buffered actually. So this is received, but I will keep my this receive base at 2 only. Okay, and send the acknowledgement 3, ACK3, after receiving packet 3. After receiving packet 4, it is also buffered and sending the acknowledgement 4. So ACK4 is sent, ACK3 is sent. So look at what happened at the receiver side, means at this point. So at this point, when the sender has sent the packet 4, after receiving the acknowledgement for the 0, so that's why it shifts its window 1 space. So fourth packet number 4 also able to send it. Here means it is waiting, because after sending 4 packets, it cannot send next packet until at least one acknowledgement of packet 0 is not arrived. Okay, so now 4 and 5, so one acknowledgement 1 is also received. That's why 4 and 5 have been sent, and then your window is shifted up to 5. Now again, so 4 packets, maximum 4 packets can be outstanding. So 2, 3, 4, 5, these 4 packets acknowledgement is not received. So packet number 6 it cannot send right now. So now it is so here timer, actually in this selective repeat we need to run multiple timers. All outstanding packet have their own timers, right? So now first the timer will expire for the packet number 2, right? So packet number 2 timer expire, timeout occurs, and then it is sending only packet 2. So now you see, when this packet 2 is received at the receiver, then after receiving this, it will receive the packet 2, deliver packet 2 to the application, and send the acknowledgement 2. So packet 2, once it received, then 2, 3, 4 already received. So 2, 3, 4 and 5 also received. So 2, 3, 4, 5, all 4 packets it will deliver to the application, right? And next sequence, its receiving base pointer will point to 6, that it is now waiting for the 6. So here this ACK2 will arrive at the sender. So then what will be the situation at the sender once it receive the acknowledgement for 2? What will happen? This acknowledgement, because the send base is here, send base pointing that before the send base, all the acknowledgements, all packets acknowledgement has been arrived, and this is the next, you can say, this is the oldest packet for which the acknowledgement is not arrived. So that is represented, or that is given by this send base. So once it receives the acknowledgement, because 3, 4, 5, you see packet number 4 and 5 acknowledgement are received here. Record ACK4 arrived, and this is ACK5 actually. This is typo. So this is ACK5 because this is corresponding to packet 4. So ACK has been sent 5. So this is 5. This is 4. So 4, 5 acknowledgement it marked, right, that it is arrived. But send base it will not shift it, right? Because window cannot be slide after receiving the acknowledgement for 4 and 5. Window can be slide only if it's in order. It received the acknowledgement in order. Then only it can slide, right? Because what will happen if it slides, then means it cannot make it okay, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 received. So now 6, 7 can be sent. Then it will be a problem actually. So window sliding will happen only if in order acknowledgement received for in order packet. So 2, once it is received the 2, then what will happen? It will shift the window to 6, 7, 8. Let us assume 9 is there. So this is the new window. So window will be slide and starting from 6. So this is my you can say next sequence number as well as send base, both will be there here only. Assuming that okay, after 5 he has not sender has not sent any packet, and so my send base also will be there at a 6 sequence number packet pointing to the 6 sequence number packet, and the next sequence number also will be pointed at a packet sequence number 6. Correct? Any question?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have one doubt. Like here in this protocol, reliable protocol that we are designing, we are assuming that 2 packets that are sent by one either entity, sender or receiver, will like if the earlier sent packet will be received earlier. So we are assuming this. So is it always the case?
It may be possible that packet can reach to the out of order also, means like sender have sent packet 0 from first and then packet 1. It may be possible that receiver can receive packet 1 and then packet 0. It is possible.
Sir, so like will the protocol be correct even in
Protocol
that
will be
case?
correct. You see that. So if this is happening for the go back end, you see wherever out of order packet it receive, the go back end will that out of order packet it will discard. Correct?
Yes, sir. Sir, like,
It will
but
discard, and then so if suppose my network is delivering lot of out of order packets, so that means the go back and performance will be very poor in that case. Correct?
okay, sir. Sir, like, if like the acknowledgements of go back and are changed in order, so will it mean that the algorithm will not behave correctly?
No,
Like,
algorithm will behave correctly, no problem. You can take create a scenario and then you can do it yourself. Then I think you will understand better. So means out of order receiving, because you see that here in a selective repeat anyway, means packet are receiving out of order. Means you can here in this case you can consider, okay, let us say packet 2 is not lost, but packet 2 is basically delayed, right? Before that packet 3 is arrived. So you can see in selective repeat what is happened. It is working, the protocol is working. It is marking that okay, packet 3 is received, it is buffer. It received it and buffer in its memory. and sending the acknowledgement ACK3. So ACK3 is going. So receiver is also marking, okay, the acknowledgement for 3 is received. Okay, sorry, not here, maybe somewhere here. Yeah. So acknowledgement for 3 is received, it will mark it, but definitely it will not move the send base, because send base is still, to move the send base, it requires to receive the acknowledgement for packet 2. So that's why it is marking, it is 3 is done. Once it will receive the 2, then it will shift this pointer from here to here directly. And once it receive 4 and 5 also, that's the, so say here what we did actually. One, because 3 acknowledgement was received, 4 acknowledgement was received, 5 acknowledgement was received. And they have been marked by the sender, means it's not discarded. It is, it's a record, it is recording actually. Recording means it is marking, means okay, I am taking that, okay, it is received. Once it receives the acknowledgement for packet number 2, then you see that it shifts the entire window, four places it shift to the right. And now it is pointing to 6, 7, 8, 9, means next sequence number it will send it, that is 6. So this is a case of out of order only, means if you just consider this is a delayed packet actually.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
So now you see that, okay, this picture maybe clarify some of your doubts. So you see that now this is slightly different from go back and in go back and you have all yellows were there. If I say that yellow means basically the sent, but the no acknowledgement has come. But here yellow and green mix is there. So you see this is the oldest packet, which is means these two packets acknowledgement is still pending. That's why my send base is pointing here. But in between these two 4 packets out of order packets, acknowledgement arrived, right? So now both possibility can be there. Either these 2 packets acknowledgement have been delayed, or packet itself delivery is delayed. Okay, both possibility may be there. And due to packet delayed, that's why acknowledgement is delayed. That also possibility is there. And because receiver in this case selective repeat, receiver is buffering the out of order packet, so that's why these acknowledgement it is getting explicit acknowledgement with respect to these sequence numbers. So that's why it is marked as a green. So once in this case, once it receive these 2 acknowledgement also, then it will shift its window by 4. So it will shift from here to 4 here, right? And the sand base will now point to here. And once it receive this, then it will shift to 3 more. So here, 3 more. And receiver side also you can see, receiver also have, this is the in order sequence which receiver is expecting. That packet is still not arrived, but there are out of order packets are received, these pink packets. So 3 packets out of order have been received. So it is buffering that. But these packets it cannot deliver to the application. It needs to buffer it in the at a transport layer only. And once it receives this packet, then it can send these 3 packets in order. Right? Okay, so now just understand that, okay, what events can occur at a in case of a selective repeat protocol, because go back N is a simpler, but selective repeat is a slightly complicated protocol because of this out of order buffering, out of order acknowledgements also marked. So the events which can occur at the sender side, it receive the data from above. That's a one event, means once it receive the data from above, then it will first check that, okay, whether this packet can be sent right now. So for that, it will check it that if it is within the next sequence number is within my window, then it will be able to send, otherwise it will not be able to send it, right? So means it window allows to send next packet. Like in this case, it allows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packets are there, still it can send. So, but if this next sequence number is suppose pointing here, and which is presently out of the window scope, so that means now it cannot send it. At least one acknowledgement need to be received, and then only it can send it. Timeout occurs then. Timeout is occurring for means each individual packet outstanding, each individual outstanding packet. So whichever packet timeout occurs, corresponding packet will be retransmitted. So you can see the complexity of SR is that, okay, suppose 10 outstanding packets are there. So my 10 timers are managed by the sender actually. Simultaneously 10 timers are running, and these once whichever timer expires, corresponding packet will be retransmitted. right? And if ACK of n packet is received, then what it will check first, it will check that okay, whether this ACK is belongs to send base comma send base plus n minus 1. So send base comma send base n plus minus means what? So that means it is here in this. If any acknowledgement comes within the window, present window, this is my present window, because send base and within the send base and send base plus n minus 1. So this represents, this pointer is send base plus n minus 1 and this is send base. So then what it should do, it will, so it will check whether in order packets, if the acknowledgement which is received in this range, that is in order acknowledgement, then it will slide the window. Suppose this packet acknowledgement is received, then it will slide the window by 1. It received the acknowledgement for this packet, then it will not slide the window, but it will simply mark or record that okay, this packet acknowledgement is arrived. So that will be the action for this event. Similarly, for timeout also you can figure out that what it will do. Now at a receiver side, if a packet is received in this range, what is this range? Receive base. So I just show you. Okay, here also. So these packets have been received and they have been delivered also, right? Because my receive base is here, I am expecting next packet here. So if any packet received in this range, somewhere here, any previous window, and that may be possible, some duplicate packet may arrive later. So then it needs to simply discard that packet, right? So if any packet received, then it should discard that packet because that packet is already received. That may be delayed, maybe a duplicate packet might have been sent or original packet might have been somewhere it is stuck, and then after duplicate packet arrive early then, and then based on that my receive base I have shifted, and now that old packet is coming from the previous window. So in that case that packet should be discarded. If the received packet at the receiver is between receive base minus n, sorry, this is for this window. Okay, I wrongly mentioned. So this receive base n plus 1 means this window, the present window. So within this window, if any packet is received, then it's not going to discard actually. Then it will see that, okay, suppose this packet is acknowledgement is received, then it will make it, sorry, this packet is received, then it will be converted into the pink. So that is out of order packet, but it will buffer it and no change in the receive base. If this packet is received, the first one, receive base, where the receive base is pointing, then it will deliver all in order packets to the application up to here and change the receive base from here to here, right? This is the case which I was explaining, that this sequence range belongs to the previous window. Receive base minus n means up to here. This is receive base minus 1. This is pointing receive base minus 1, and this is receive base minus n. Suppose up to here is there, receive base minus n somewhere here. So in this range, if any packet received, that means a previous window packet is coming, that is older packet somewhere stuck and that comes now. So this packet needs to be discarded. Okay, so these are the possible events are there. So now then we'll just in the next 5 minutes, what we'll understand, one scenario I will show you that, okay, where is, so with the help of this example, we will understand the relationship between the window size and the sequence number. So first, let us say we'll do for both. So first, let us do for the selective repeat. So I'm considering one scenario. I say that, okay, my sequence number is something like the 2-bit sequence number. Okay, 2-bit sequence. 2-bit sequence number means what is my sequence numbering? 0, 1, 2, 3, then 0, 1, 2, 3. This way my sequence number is a modulus 2 power k arithmetic, right? So let us take this sender, and this is a receiver. So this is sender, this is receiver, and current window is 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? I assume my window size is 3 in this case, right? So window size equals to 3. So window size 3 means my first window will be this. This is my send base, and next sequence number is also this only initially. Let us assume I send based on that 3 packets can be sent. So I send P0, I send P1, I send P2, right? Let us assume all 3, and after that I cannot send until unless I don't receive any acknowledgement, right? So my next next sequence number is pointing here, and which is outside the scope of the window at present. So means I need to wait after that. Okay, fine, no problem. Here once it receive the receiver, so receiver scenario is like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3. So window is 3. So receive base is somewhere here. So this is receive base. So once it receive packet 0, fine, it packet 0 receive, and it creates the acknowledgement 0. So let us say ACK 0 it had sent, and just a moment. This let me remove. So let us say this ACK it sent, and let this ACK is just say lost, and packet. So this acknowledgement A1 is also let us say lost, and this acknowledgement A2 is also let us say lost, right? But sender have received these 3 packets successfully and delivered to the application, sorry, receiver, and it moves its send base to here. Correct? 3 packets have been received and delivered, and corresponding acknowledgement have been sent. And now receiver is saying that, okay, I am waiting for the sequence number 301. In this window, if any packet will come, I will take it, right? So now what happened, because these 3 acknowledgement have been lost, receiver's knowledge is that, okay, receivers don't have any idea that, okay, these packets have been received or not, because these acknowledgement is not received. And the first that timeout for the packet 0 will occur. Let us say timeout is occurring somewhere here. Timeout for P0. Timeout is running for P1, P0, P1, P2, but P1, P0 timer will expire first, assuming that, okay, all 3 timers are equal duration. So P0 timer for P0 started earlier than P1 and P2, so it's expire first. Okay, so now what will happen? What will happen here? Timer for T0, this packet P0, so which packet it will send, retransmit it here? This packet, right? This packet it will retransmit. So I'm just doing here 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1. So its window is here and timer expire for this. So this P0 will be retransmitted. This is I'm writing retransmit. Here the situation at a receiver is something like this, that 0, 1, 2 have been gone. Okay. Now 301 is next, it is expecting. Now here it receives 0, P sequence number 0, so it will buffer this, but it will misinterpret this packet, isn't it? Actually, sender has sent this sequence number, this packet actually, right? That is a retransmitted, the very first packet, but receiver will interpret this as a this packet, because receiver's current window says that, okay, fine, 0 sequence number, oh, 0 sequence number I received, okay, done. So it will misinterpret this packet. So that means for this sequence number range, window size 3 is not correct. Means window size should not be 3. It should be less than 3. So that means there must, otherwise this kind of means this ambiguity can occur, and receiver will receive the wrong packet actually, right? So we'll say there is a relationship between window size and the sequence number. relationship between window size and sequence number range. Now what this relationship is there, that we need to figure out. So from this example, now you just think of that, okay, what we'll just quickly do for the go back end and then we'll stop. So means I want to just show the complete picture to you. So same thing we'll do for the go back end now, GBN. Okay, so the sender, a receiver, same window size is 3 only, sequence number 2-bit. So if this take the same scenario, let us say, is it happening for same thing, same you can say ambiguity is happening for GBN also? Let us see. So P0 send, P1 send, P2 send. Okay, so 0, 1, 2. So and then 3 and then 0. So this window is this, send base is here only, and next byte to be sent is 3. After that it will wait. So here what happened, all packets are received, 0 received, 1 received, 2 received, 3 it is waiting, and these 3 has been delivered to the application. Next is 3, 0, that. So next here it is waiting only for 3, not 0, because if 0 will come, it will discard. So if I say that P0 acknowledgement 0 lost, acknowledgement 1 lost, acknowledgement 2 also lost, timer, oldest packet timer, P0 timer is running here. So P0 timer, timeout occurs for P0. Here only one timer is there. Now what will happen? 0, 1, 2, all 3 packet it will retransmit. Right? So 0, 1, 2, so it will retransmit 0. It will not. So receiver is waiting for 3 actually. So the first 0, 1, 2 have been received and delivered to the application. So it is waiting for 3. Here it will receive 0. So it will discard. And send the acknowledgement what? What acknowledgement it will send? A2, because up to 2 it has received. Packet 1 and so packet 1 and then packet 1. So this again it will send A2, and packet 2 it will send. So that acknowledgement also it will send A2. Okay, so in case of go back and it will not misinterpret that, okay, this 0, and there will be no confusion between the two zeros, that whether it is this 0 at that 0, and receiver will receive the packets correctly. So go back and means we can go for the window size for the maximum, you can say sequence. So in this case 2-bit sequence number, I can go, my maximum number is what? 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, and then again 0, 1, 2, 3. So my window size can be n minus 1. Maximum number is 3, 3 minus 1, 2. But this n minus 1 window size is not applicable for selective repeat. So now this is exercise for you. What will be the relationship between the window size and the sequence number for SR protocol? Okay. So this is basically a question. Sequence numbers range, let us say for k bit, if I generalize 0 to k minus 1, what should be the window size n for the selective repeat for correctly, so that the protocol can operate correctly without any ambiguity. Similarly for go back n. Okay, so that you think of and try to do, and in this weekend, and then we'll continue this in the next class. We'll so now we will move to the TCP reliable protocol. How that, whether the TCP is using the go back n, or TCP is using a selective repeat, or TCP is using something different, because TCP is also a reliable protocol. So how it is achieving the reliability in a go back n form, or it is in a selective repeat form, or something else is there. So that we'll do in the next class. Okay, so